Okay, everybody, Stephen Key here, and we have a very special guest. This is the inventRight member spotlight. We want to talk a little bit about some of the members at inventRight and get to know them just a little bit. So, John, thank you for coming on inventRight TV. How are you?
Hi, thank you very much.
Well, John, tell us about you, right? Tell us a little bit about you, and so everybody understands kind of what you're doing, maybe a little bit about your age, maybe what you've done. Tell us about you.
Well, my age just went to 70 recently, a month ago. Always been creative. I've worked for quite a few wealthy people and movie stars and bankers and throughout my career, and solved a lot of problems. So I got a patent back in the late 80s and no, early 80s, late 70s when I lived in the South. Spent a lot of money, went nowhere, didn't know anything about marketing, and I just kind of put it aside. Went through my career, solved problems for people. I saw things that really worked out for them, not so much for me. And I decided to give it another shot. I learned about, now there's a provisional patent. Didn't have that back then. I thought that's interesting. Started on that. Started looking at things online. I ran into Stephen Key. He was in San Diego. It's the first time that something really seemed to make a lot of sense. I had gone to other agencies before in the past. They always want a percentage. They want money. They want all kinds of things. Tried one or two, just never seemed to pan out. But anyway, I plugged away, worked on the product that I'm currently working on. Been on it for a while, and I guess that's about it. I plug away.
John, well, congratulations on turning 70. You're still a young man in my eyes. Okay, so
Don't feel like it, but anyway, yeah.
Don't let that stop you.
Try
But
not.
John, I think what's really interesting is that you still had this drive. You still wanted to continue with it. What did you know before you learned about inventRight? You know, what were you thinking about the process a little bit? What was your knowledge before you started to understand some of the stuff we've been teaching at inventRight?
Well, my weak point is I don't know anything about marketing. I know a little bit about IP, dealt with different patent attorneys. They always have their hands out, and they don't really tell you the end of the matter, which is more fees, more office actions, more everything. It gets very expensive. And even though you have a good idea, you're looking at that and you're going, whoa, I don't think I can do this again after spending tens of thousands of dollars, in the early 80s. That was a lot more money for nothing. So I knew how to design. I've designed my whole life, and I've won different contests, things like that. But to go full circle, I had no real direction or no idea until I started, trying to figure it all out. And I joined inventRight, and I'm convinced if I hadn't, there it'd just be another patent that sat and never went anywhere. I've got a couple of those already in the background, but anyway.
I think a lot of us do. Okay, you're not alone. But John, I think what's really interesting here is that you've always had this urge to invent, and you put it on the side for a while, but you come back to it. And so I guess the question I have for you, why did you join inventRight now? What was that tipping point where you said, hey, look, I need some help?
Um, I I just started facing the same obstacles. Don't know where to go. Don't know what to do next. Is this right? Is this wrong? I just totally lost. People who invent and design, sometimes they're not good in business. At least that's me. And a lot of times they're not good in communication. That's me. They're, you know, sometimes you don't have the confidence. And so I needed help. And Kurt helped me quite a while when he was with inventRight. Great guy. Had to go his way. He has a product. And now Clark has been leading me. Very smart man, very dedicated. He calls me when he thinks there might be something I'm not sure about. There's been a lot of just help beyond. I mean, everyone I've talked to in inventRight has, from the office to the coaches, especially to Stephen here, has been more than somebody could ask for. And I'm just so thankful.
Well, thank you for saying that, John. I know you've got a big project, and you're playing a pretty big game right now, right? And you're doing a great job. I'm in awe that uh, you're reaching out to big companies or responding to you. You're having some remarkable meetings now with some of the bigger guys. How does that feel now from where you were to what you're doing today? I know you're probably still a little nervous, right? But how are you overcoming some of the nerves, and how are you dealing with it now? Because now you're in the big game.
Yeah, well, it's very surreal. Um, I'm just trying to listen to Clark, trying to listen to Stephen, uh, taking their advice. And also, and Stephen is the first to say this, that you don't always follow everything that's in the book. You have to branch out, you have to listen, learn, and assess. And once in a while, you have to do something different. Um, I called myself the worst inventRight student that was ever in the program. And Kurt said, no, I've had a couple worse. And Clark said something similar. But you got to not worry about that. Just do your best. Do what you can. Don't give up. I noticed that you'll get out of this program or anything in life, you'll get out of it what you put into it. And if you don't work it, it's not going to work. So you have to put in the time. And I've been guilty of not doing that. But as I get further into it, I see that that's vital. You have to dedicate time and you have to do the work.
Well, we're big believers in that, as you know. And I know that the coaches meeting each week keeps you accountable a little bit too, don't they?
Yes, they do. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If you didn't have that weekly contact, you would just, or I would just let it go. And the weeks and months, they roll fast. So just once a week. And then, like I say, Clark and Kurt, they check on me once in a while and say, did you do this? Or how's this going? Very encouraging. I'm very thankful, you know.
Are you still you're doing something pretty new? You're dealing with big companies. Um, are you more confident now? I mean, is it are you still nervous?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that ever goes away, though. I'm here to tell you, I don't think that ever goes away.
I'll get there. I'll do it a little better, hopefully. But it is a little bit nerve wracking because you're really anticipating a certain thing, and then there's something else that comes up, and you just try to roll with it and keep a positive attitude and say, we'll get it next time.
Were you nervous about the meeting we had today with one of the largest companies in the world? Were you nervous about that? You didn't look nervous.
Of course I was. Yeah, they were very kind and positive, and they weren't as scary as I thought they would be. You know, they're just like we are, people doing a job. And of course, they have the power and they have the authority. But at the end of the day, we're kind of at the same level, on some level. Yeah.
Well, I think you did a great job today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching another inventRight member spotlight. This is Stephen Key. Until next time, we'll see you.